Vrystaters wat die een opgestorm het nie. Die bal was nie oor die doodlyn nie. Mike Bailey het dood gedruk. Maar Lance Sherrill. Net van kan sy kwartgebied. Pragtig het die lug het gepluk. Dennis van Sil. Sies van Toner, Pierre Rautenbach, die manne is daar. Martens wag vir hom. Jannie de Beer. Uitlik op die middellyn. Pieter Muller wat die bal verloor het, maar is 'n strafskop, die eerste strafskop van die wedstryd.
Langs die loskram.
Manne wat nie gebind het nie, sê meneer Fransie Muller. Punte in Currie rugby tot dusver hierdie seisoen. Vir Andre Joubert. Sielkundig baie beteken vir die Vrystaat indien hulle die neuskamp voorkry. Die eerste minuut van hierdie wedstryd. Met die linkervoet, hy gly as hy skop. Kobusburger. Met sy linkervoet. Kyk ek van waar die strafskop was, die eerste lyn staan.
Dis ons gesien hoe Andre daar gly, maar ek dink in die skrams kan dit baie belangrik wees dat die manne hulle voete nie te ver terugsit nie. Miskien die voete 'n bietjie meer na die kop se kant toe bring om daardie balans op hierdie natveld makliker te bring.
Voete vir die of Liverpool iemand wat gedeflekteer het, Henty Martin swak aangee onder geweldige druk. Pierre Rautenbach. Geweldige druk van Martens deur tot by Jannie de Beer.
Wacht vir die bal, wacht vir die bal.
Die eerste skrum van die wedstryd.
Die veld is nat. Ek wil hier die skrum van my boel, ek wil nie onnodige strafskop uitgee nie, hè?
Freddy Ferreira sal moet ingooi, dis Freddy en Maritjie Ferreira se gesin wat nou 3 is nadat Mieke, pragtige dogter, donderdag vir hulle gebore is.
Ek gaan vir so 'n keer loop jy.
Kry sy
loop jy.
En nog 'n strafskop vir die Vrystaat. Baie swart aan die strafskop.
Kyk na die val.
Teen Piet Bester. Neely goed deflecteer. Andre iemand wat vasmaak. Freddy Ferreira, Charlie Cronje. Weer Freddy Ferreira, die kan die klein kantje Andre. Iemand is daar. Het hy die ondersteuning. Kry dit van Keith Andrews.
Goeie stukkie spel hier deur die voorspelers want hy bevind sy goeie tweede fase afgedwing daar deur Charlie Cronje. Dieselfde soos in die wedstryd in Noord-Transvaal het Des bevind sy baie goed gelyk die oomblik wat die bal hier naby aan die voorspelers gehou word. Ek sal graag wil sien of hulle hierdie week 'n bietjie gewerk het daaraan om oor die veld te kom as Vrystaat in die bal hier na die buitesenters toe neem.
Baie aandag hierdie week gegee aan die WPS gespeel, verstaan ons.
Hy bal se klap, het is 'n aanslag geweest, was geen voordeel nie wat wil hê. Nou is
Vrystaat het geklap.
They had a knock on this, so it's no advantage. Ja, bal.
Piet Bester die Bali swart hier Niederskant. Te diep. Hy is nog 120, Jannie de Beer.
Die lyn staan nou oop.
2-3 gedruk in die Currie wedstryd vir die Vrystaat in Noord-Transvaal vroeër vanjaar op Loftusversveld.
Jy druk op die man se skouer.
Dennis van Sil wat gestraf word en Lance Sherrill wat zeer sekerlik gaan pale toe korrel. Hendrik Trieter van Transvaal, die man wat tweede is op die Currie punte leer hierdie seisoen. Trieter 84, Lance Sherrill 61. Elke span het 'n geleentheid pale toe gehad. Andre Joubert het misluk met sy poging. Pereira en hy gaan terugdraf na sy plek toe. En DP is 3-0 voor na 5 minute in die eerste helft.
So die strafskop dan gekom, die nommer 4, so die skeieregter het gesê, druk hier op die skouer van Neeligo en nommer 4 natuurlik Dennis van Sail van die Vrystaat en die strafskop en 3 punte vir Wes-Provinsie by.
Janie de Beer wat die wedstrijd begin het vir die Vrystaat afgeskop het. Nou is het Andre Joubert. Het is toch Janie de Beer. Joubert het die stelwerk gedoen. Mike Bailey. De linkervoet goed verplaas spel na so 12 meter buite aan die kwartgebied van die WP voor die spoorweg paviljoen. Even verkorte lyn staan. Enty Martens, Janie de Beer. Prachtig raak gevat. Weer Enty Martens. Brendan Venter het probleme. Maar 'n vryskop wat toegeken gaan word aan die Vrystaat.
4-3. Hulle was 4 geweest, hulle was 3.
Vryskop dan vir die oortreding. Een man meer as die Vrystaat was die WP. Andre Joubert se skepskop nie, hy gaan nie. En 'n goeie skopie word vir hom. Neil Burger is daar. Hy is nie uit nie. Janie de Beer. Ja, Charlotte
Wat
het
wil jy die
opgevolg.
strafskop daar of die skram?
Hulle die
strafskop
skram
daar, waar hy
verkies.
kan hardloop het of die skram daar onderkant?
Hulle gaan die skram verkies in 'n baie aanvallende posisie. Lance Sherrill was onkant.
Eintlik 'n baie goeie besluit hier deur die Vrystaat om die skrim te vat, want hulle kry ook vir die skrim die geleentheid om die bal in te gooi. As die strafskop gevat het en uitgeskop het, dan is dit Wes-Provinsie se ou goeie stand.
Sonnetjie wat weer kom hier op Nieuweland. Enty Martens voor die skram van die Vrystaat. Hy swaai. Dis Janie de Beer. Brendan Venter gly. Die veld is geweldig nat, onthou dit. Terug na Pieter Muller. Kobus Burger is vanaf daar. Vrystaat wat agter toe speel. Pierre Rautenbach wil die bal uithaal. Maar as dit Freddy Ferreira. Ook hy gly. Maar sy skop gaan uitwees. En hy red sake vir die WP.
Die gewoonte van veral die binnensenter om na binne te speel gaan vandag baie bemoeilik word hier by die natveld. Ons het gesien daar hoe maklik die manne se voete onder uitgaan.
1-5-6 is die teken van André Bester. Bedoel vir Dennis van Sail. Klapwerk, André Kloete. Janie de Beer. Aan van Mike Bailey beproef. Hy is buitekant sy kwartgebied. Pieter Muller is vanaf daar. Vrystaat as die bal lospat. Wil vir hom hê, hulle wil vir hom hê. Maar daar was baie
Man,
aanslaane.
die bal is vir jou hand af voordat jy gekom het, die bal voor uitgegrap het. WP bal.
Dit was 'n skitterende hoë skop. Dit daar die 2-3 wat Bailey buitekant sy 22 moes kom, anders kon hy miskien 'n merk gevang het, maar die druk onmiddellik op die Wes-Provinsie die oomblik wat daardie bal bietjie kort van die 22 is.
Weer Freddy Ferreira. Kyk vir terug waar die lyn staan net nou was.
Vir die lyn staan nou oop hè. Meter in mekaar uit. 3-5-2.
Baba!
Enty Martens. Piet Bester, dis Janie de Beer. Hy moet ver gehardloop word deur Mike Bailey. Gaan die bal vir hom. Flous nie heeltemal nie, hy gly tog. En dan voor Elgard Muller en Pieter Muller moet hy die bal uitskop, maar Vrystaat het verveld gewen. Mike Bailey sal moet kom red. Feitelik op sy doellyn. Hy gaan nie uitskop nie. Andre Joubert gaan die skepskop pale toe. Nee, Janie de Beer. Patterson het vanaf opgevolg. Kobus Burger was daar. Vrystaat moet nou pas op van onkant. Dis Kobus van Neil Burger. Vanaf het hy self opgevolg. Henty Martens op die middellyn. En spite van hierdie natveld is die spanne wat bereid is om te hardloop op die bal, maar Janie de Beer bly lê vir die Vrystaat.
Dus ja, ek dink daar die enkelbal met 'n bietjie sleg getrap toe Kobus Burger om daar laag gevat het.
En pas Rademeier ou Transvaaler, reserve vir die Vrystaat vandag wat losmaak. Sien daar is 'n probleem by Pieter Muller, hy hou vas hier aan sy linkerbobeen. Sal baie jammer wees as enigeen van hierdie spanne 'n speler moet verloor. Daar is Pieter Muller, net so 'n bietjie aan sy linkerbobeen hou vas. Tussen is Janie de Beer, hy voel nie gelukkig nie. Hy gaan tydelik die veld verlaat. En dit sal werklik 'n groot terugslag wees vir die Vrystaat. Pote Iman wat uitgeskuif het heel agter toe Andre Joubert staan nou op loskakel. Freddy Ferreira kry vir Lance Sherrill. Dis Kobus Burger. En as einste Pote Iman. Nee. Even Skippers. Lance Sherrill met hierdie skopie van hom. Dit kan 'n goeie hoë skop wees. Pote Iman is daar, pragtig. Henty Martens, hy het sy probleme vir hom, hy is onder geweldige druk. JP se losvoorspelers wat bykom. Wanneer die bal vanaf uitkom, maar steeds Pote Iman. Wat eenvoudig vir die Vrystaat 'n pad oop beur, na kom hy uit aan die Vrystaat se kant. Henty Martens en as nie lief vir die bal optel, was daar reeds 'n oortreding.
Vrystaatbal.
En die Wes-provinsie se losvoorspelers 'n bietjie stadig met daardie bal. Dit was eintlik die vaste manne wat voor die losmanne daar by die bal en aangekom het en dit kan 'n mens nie. En jou losvoorspelers moet daardie druk daar plaas.
Dit is Janie de Beer wat in sy enkel aandag kry. Andre Joubert van binnekant sy kwartgebied skop nie uit nie. Kobus Burger. Strafskop aan die Vrystaat. Daar was nie voordeel vir hulle nie. WP was onkant en Janie de Beer is gereed om terug te kom op die veld. Goeie nuus vir die Vrystaat. Pink 'n bietjie. Ons hou styf duim vas vir hom. Bal sy enkel lyk dit ook hier na sy bobeen. Nou is dit die Vrystaat se ingooi.
Wacht even, op die lijn staan. Jullie sê hom meer in mekaar, uit die so.
100% sukses verhaal vir die WP. Vrystaat alle balle wat verloor. Andre Bester se ingooi nou. Andre Kloete. Henty Martens gaan kry. Janie de Beer pragtig opgetel. Pote Iman. Hy is 'n sterke derduiwel. Henty Martens kry weer. Janie de Beer. Andre Joubert aan sy buitekant. Dis bedoel vir Jalgard Muller en ook vir Pieter Muller, maar Mike Bailey wat pragtig op die bal gaan val. Die omstandighede is moeilik.
Maar pragtige werk hier deur Pote Iman. Hy het net buitekant die loskakel posisie ingeneem, reguit vorentoe gegaan en die tweede fase het daardie bal vinnig teruggekom en onmiddellik was die Vrystaaters hier aan die steelkant gereed om die doellyn aan te val.
Weer 'n verkorte lyn staan. Strafskop aan die Vrystaat. Lyk vir my teen Keith Andrews. Andrew Aitken sal gaan vra. Stampspring voor in die lyn staan met die elmboog deur Keith Andrews. En geleentheid vir Andre Joubert dan om sake gelyk op te maak vir die Vrystaat. Tweede poging. Eerste poging was feitlik in lyn op die 15 meter lyn as hierdie ene, maar heel wat verder.
Dit is interessant die feit dat hy die bal heel wat nader aan die doellyn stel op 'n redelike droë call. Normaalweg sou hy miskien buite die 22 gekom het, maar 'n baie nat call net hier buite die 22.
As die 22 meter lyne is dit werklik baie nat. Dis Andre Joubert wat die saak gelyk opmaak. 3-0. Strafskop aan die elke span. 15 minute verstreke in die eerste helfte. Pierre Rautenbach wat met sake kom ry, die bal is nie uit nie. Dries van Tonder wil hom uittrap en dan is daar so 'n bietjie oor-ywerigheid. Dan is hy kom vir die skram.
Kom. Wacht maar eens man, hierdie veld is nat. Kom aan.
Kry vir Andre Joubert. Die Vrystaat se wit trui sal na die einde van hierdie wedstryd wel wat veel wees. Andrew Aitken, VP se kaptein. Kote Ivan, Inti Martens, Brendan Venter op oor Pieter Muller. Mike Bailey gaan Frank een keer laat spring. Van aanslaan wees van Inti Martens, waar die swart is vanaf daar. Maar hulle sal terugkom vir hierdie vaste skram. Feitelik op die kwartlyn van die Vrystaat.
Chris, ek sien daar Bali Swart het blykbaar 'n vinger in die oog gekry. Toe Henty Martens hom daar 'n bietjie weggestoot het. Maar alhoewel ons 20 minute se spel gehad het tot dusver, Chris, nog nie werklik enige een van hierdie twee spanne wat gevaarlik gelyk het of gelyk het asof hulle 'n 3 gaan aanteken het.
Piet Bester hier teen Bali Swart. Andre Iman gaan omgedop word. Dis op die kwartlyn van die Vrystaat waar Freddy Ferreira wag vir hierdie bal. Andrew Aitken nou in 'n loskakelposisie. Dis Einstein kan geen aktief Andrews wat verlore gaan. Kobus Burger wat optel. Freddy Ferreira kry vir hom. Hy word afgesny. Vrystaat wat nou eenvoudig vir WP terugdra. Danny de Beer. Dis Brendan Venter. Neil Burger wat probeer raak onderskep en as dit Ewen Skeepers. Hy kom daar by 'n man verby. Bal wat weggestamp is. Nou tel Neil Burger die bal op. Dis Neil Burger. Hy kry pragtig vir Kobus Burger. Dan Neil Burger en van Neil Burger. En dit maak die lyn toe. Hulle wil daar oorval. Skeieregter van 'n strafskop teken in Vrystaat. As Neil Burger nie die bal onmiddellik verlos het toe hy geduik is nie.
Hy stap in die saan.
Hy het effens gedraai.
Kom hier nou, Simon, wat gaan hier aan?
Doellyn af.
En Neil Burger wat seer gekry het.
Leen nie stil.
Onmiddellik meneer Fransie Muller wat vir hom sê, hou jou stil, Kote Iman wat kom kyk. Serings wat so baie maklik kan gebeur as dit so nat is. Daar dit begin Kobus Burger.
Hy gaan nou vir Neil Burger weer hier aan die binnekant
Kan nie aangaan nie, ons moet eers maar wag.
Neil Burger wat nou van albei alle kante af toegepak word en op die ou en Andre Bester wat aan die grond. Daar kan jy sien hoe hy draai om dan die bal net kort van die doellyn af. En die reël sê dat jy moet die bal onmiddellik neersit of met een beweging oor die doellyn gaan vir 'n 3.
Dit kan baie maklik een van sy eie spelers wees wat vir hom beseer het daar. Dit was blote ongeluk. Daar is dit Andre Bester wat inkom wat vir Neil Burger grond toe bring. Alles volgens die reël. Wat 'n Vrystater. Kom val op hom. Lyn staan dan net by die kwartgebied van die Vrystaat waar WP die bal kan ingooi. Freddy Ferreira. Spelers van die WP wat steeds gesit het daarvan wil hy terugkom, kan hy terugkom. Die vaste skram geken word aan die WP, maar gaan daar 'n oortreding wees. En 'n strafskop dan aan die Vrystaat, of liewer aan die WP. Vir ontoelaatbare spel, maar kom ons sluit eers aan by David van der Sand.
Wat sien? Bal buite
Ja, ek
gewees.
sit hier by Jannie de Beer, die Vrystaatse loskakel wat van die veld is. Jannie, kan jy vir ons vinnig vertel wat het gebeur?
Man, ek weet nie. Ek is die bal het losgespring en ek het hom opgetel. Die volgende oomblik was daar een van die JP aan daar. En toe ek die bal pas toe val hy. Ek is seker 'n ongeluk, maar toe ek val, toe is my voet gedraai na die binnekant toe, toe val hy van agteraf van die kant af op die voet op die binnekant van my enkel. Ja, lyk my, ek weet nie.
Jannie, baie dankie. Ja, dit is natuurlik 'n groot terugslag vir die Vrystaat. Hulle ander loskakel, Henry Hannibal, het ook op die oomblik 'n ernstige ribbesering. So dit is 'n groot terugslag vir die Vrystaat, maar Hempas Rademeier dan reeds op die veld in die plek dan van Jannie de Beer wat beseer is.
So it's going to be Lance Sherrill with this penalty attempt right on the far side, the railway side touchline. And this, of course, to put Western Province 3 points in the lead. Difficult circumstances, as you see in the background there, Neil Berger going onto the field. Important kick for Sherrill. Martin's doing the cleaning up work for Free State. Just hooking that one slightly, did Lance Sherrill. And that's a good kick out. Just catching Mike Bailey a little bit out of position. There's Hempus Rademeier, the replacement for Jannie de Beer. So what has happened now is Free State, in fact, have moved Andre Joubert up to fly half. Of course, they've got Helfart Muller on the wing, who has played fly half for Free State before. Good jump by FC Smith, but he couldn't gather it in. A boot gets it back to Pereira. 18 minutes to go in the half. Martin's just making sure that he knows where Andre Joubert is. Free State trying to get the second shove going, but the field's very wet. Difficult one for Joubert, nicely picked up. Pereira, who was up against Joubert there. Great tackle by FC Smith. Playing the ball on the ground.
Dis die tweede keer na die koeler, in die koeler.
Oh, well, that was in fact Cheese van Tonda, who was penalised there for stamping on the Western Province player. And it was the second time that he had done it, so he's going to spend some time in the cooler.
Yes, there have been a couple of nasty incidents. Evan Skippers with his knee into Neil Berger just now wasn't very pleasant. It's not going to help this game. Conditions aren't good underfoot. Tricky for the backs, but I think this might favour Western Province. Western Province not as mobile a side as Free State. Free State like to move the ball around. Province play a much more static type of game.
Darwin's wrong at the front of the line-out. Let's see what the referee has to say.
Jammer.
Well, he's just actually saying Cheese van Tonda thought that he'd be coming back onto the field, but Mr. Francie Miller just indicating to him that he must stand at the tunnel. Play by Andrew Patterson. So territorially, this latter part of this half, the Western Province certainly having the better of it over Free State. Martins waits. Hempus Rademeier has moved up into a kicking position, but it goes to Joubert. Very quickly off the back there, late tackle by Andrew Aitken. Joubert. That's a safe enough kick by Andre Joubert. It's not that easy to kick the ball great distances with this wet underfoot. We've seen a bit of a change now to the Free State reshuffling their backline as it's taken in by Rotenbach. Good drive by him. Martins put him on in the fly half position. Lovely double round by Henty. Martins keeps his hand above the tackle nicely. Fed back by Andrew Aitken. Ferreira and Gelderblom. A long one. Couldn't find Neil Burger. The big heavy man battling to keep his feet. The referee's whistle has gone for the knock-on. So it's Western Province advantage. Everybody thought that Free State looked like they had a scoring opportunity, but Mr. Francine Muller had called them back for the knock-on.
Yes, I think that Free State wise to leave Andre Jabir at the back there. He's such a dangerous attacker.
Can't do anything about it. Nothing I can do about it.
So you see number 14 there, as we just saw EP leading Natal by 6 points to 3. It's not an easy game for Natal, that in Port Elizabeth. Ferreira, Sherrill. Muller was up to him very quickly, but a good clearance by Lance Sherrill. A man who certainly kept Western Province in the game against Northern Transvaal last week. Where we see that Free State have a very good record on their own put-in. Picked up by Charlie Clunier.
5-4.
Too many men, Western Province, in that line-out. We've seen a lot of short line-outs from Free State. And Andre Yabert just pumping it down into Western Province 22. So no doubt they'll look to Neil Hugo to win this line out for them. As he just makes to go as if he was going to take a quick one, but couldn't gather it in. A lovely pass from Martins. Muller scoring a goal, but not a drop. Bailey.
It's not a good decision by Alfred Miller there, winning a ball. This province's line-out ball, and they won it. And then to have a drop with your wrong foot, not a good idea.
Sherrill went a long way over to the railway grandstand to kick that one from the 22. Good drive by Barley Swart. Ferreira, seeing that there was open spaces there. Hempus Rademacher has to get back quickly. He's got Yabert in support. Van der Merwe is up very quickly. Nice playing by Yabert, but too far. FC Smith there was very quickly up to Yabert. So was Charlie Clunier. Good spreading defence there by Western Province. Lovely jump by FC Smith. Now the drive from the Western Province forwards. To keep it going down the middle as Andrews works it back. Clunier on the charge. Well tackled by Clunier's namesake. This is Sherrill. Gelderblom heavily tackled by Peter Muller. Well picked up by Kobusberger. Eventually it's Hempus Rademacher coming away with it. He had Andre Yabert on his outside, and now the chase between Kobusberger and Andre Yabert. Lovely play by the Springbok centre. Must stay on his feet now. He's well tackled by Bester. And Free State coming away with it, but there was an infringement.
Yes, lots of good rugby there. Good defence by Kobusberger, saving Andre Jabir at all times. He props up this Free State backline. Lovely to have a fellow like Andre Jabir at fullback. He can pick a young side, and he's in there, comes in outside the fly, outside the centres, always around. Nice to have an experienced player with such an attacking approach to the game.
Well, that ball almost been lost by Western Province there as it found a stray boot. And a kick by Ferreira, just a little bit too far. Mr. Paul van Blommenstein, the far side touch judge, was watching it very carefully. So suddenly Free State having some of the advantage. And a real mix-up there between the Free State forwards and their hooker. The drive taken on by Western Province as they latched onto it very quickly. Sherrill had men in numbers on the outside, but preferring to test Cheese van Tonda. Well taken by Gelderblom. Can he open this up? Van der Merwe is up there. Back foot is Rademacher for Free State. Tackle by Sherrill. Feed by Yabert to Martins. Nice little kick by him. Can he regather? Yes. Well tackled by Neil Hugo.
A nice bit of play by Glenn Kilderblom there. Good rugby player, watched the ball, caught it and then transferred nicely to Cobus van der Merwe. But Free State always willing to look for an opportunity. We had Freddie Ferreira just now with a couple of men on his right, kicking it away.
Ferreira again, it's Rademacher under it, had a lot of experience in having played over 100 games for Transvaal, but that one's out on the full. Short line out by Western Province. Hugo very quickly through the hands. This is Sherrill. And finding Human on the outside, popping up in the centre position.
Hy het niemand daar getrap hier van nie. Hy het niemand daar getrap nie. Ek sal hom straf as ek so is. Sies, ek sal hom straf as ek jou trap.
The referee just explaining to Cheese van Tonder that he's got everything under control. Van Tonder, I think, was complaining that Andrew Patterson had run in there with the boots, but the referee was right on the spot. Good scrum by Free State, putting pressure on Andrew Aitken. Van Tonder is onto him very quickly. That was good defensive work by the Free State. They got onto that loose ball, but Aitken just unable. It was good scrumming by Free State that caused the pressure. Not easy to scrum that much on these wet fields. Martins feeding Mala. Back for it is Aitken. Rademacher with the chase. Western Province again calling the short line out in there. Charlie Crinier and Hugo tapping it over. Aitken went to ground. Now Sivan Wester was up there very quickly.
Hulle was 3 in die lyn staan gewees, toe die bal ingegooi het, so hardjie weg. Hulle was 3 in die lyn staan, toe hardjie weg, die bal so aangegooi het.
Too many in the line out by Free State. Sherrill. And a safe enough touch.
I don't know about you, but in those situations, wouldn't it be better in these conditions to hoop one up high, keep the ball in field, Province kicking it out here, giving Free State the put in again, not gaining a hell of a lot of ground.
Well, there you see that the percentage for Western Province has dropped a little bit in the line-outs, not winning quite as many of their own ball, but this time they do. Van Sel with a good jump, a little bit of help from his supports. Mala. That's about the cleanest jersey on the field. Certainly interesting to see these Free State outside backs, all of whom are former SA Schools players, the fly half, the 2 centres and the urban skippers. Charlie Crinier on the drive. Nice ball for Ferreira. Sherrill. Long one out to Cobus Burger. So darting back inside, making some good running. He was well tackled by Cheese van Tonder, gathered the ball in again. Crowd didn't like it. This time there is playing on the ground. Well, again, a good run by Cobus Burger, reading the conditions nicely. Always, one said the British backs were always very good at taking the inside jink and causing great problems with the defenders who have to stop immediately and often slip in the mud. Cobus Burger reading that well. So Sherrill has this opportunity, bang in front of the uprights. FC Smith, who's just receiving a bit of attention, having it. In fact, it's not, it's Andre Human.
It's disappointing that we haven't got good conditions for this game. We were looking forward to seeing the Free State side. We haven't seen a lot of good back play down in Cape Town. We haven't seen the Transvaal side yet this year, who have been playing all the rugby. So we were looking forward to seeing Honeyball and De Beer, and De Beer's injured now, so but nice to see Hempus Rademacher again, another attacking player.
Well, what will Henny Becker think of this kick from Lance Sherrill? Just 5 minutes to go in the half. It's important for Western Province to get a lead. He struck it cleanly. 3 points to Western Province. Well, I can assure you that my scorebook is starting to read just like the Lance Sherrill story. I have, from last Saturday, 7 penalties, and now today on my score sheet, just the 2 by Lance Sherrill, as against the 1 by Andre Yabert for Free State. Free State kicking to this side of the field because Sherrill favouring the left foot. Good drive by Western Province. All the forwards in there. Ferreira, Sherrill. This is Martins. Western Province couldn't go for him because they were offside. In fact, Martins would be a little bit unhappy about that ball. He could have made the running because the Western Province players, in fact, could not tackle him. But a man who was at Hilton College just last year, so this is a huge step up. Ferreira reading the play well. This is Trenier. Ferreira again. Hugo, he's got Patterson on the outside. Mala comes across with a tackle. The ball's gone forward. Good driving play by Western Province, but that ball went forward from Andrew Patterson. And now what are the fellows just deciding that they'll get to know each other a bit better? Andrew Aitken was up there. They didn't hear the referee's whistle go because the crowd were right behind their Western Province players. Not easy for the front rankers to hold the scrum now. Martins. Ferreira is ready to pressurize. And Andre Yabert, they shut him out on the left foot, which was clever defensive work by the Western Province players. We just heard that Eastern Province are leading Natal 13 points to 7. Free State again, a little bit of a mix-up there, but the advantage to them at the scrummage. Mala also having trouble with his footing. This is Van der Merwe. He's got Charlie Crinier. This time it's Neil Hugo in support. Crinier now in possession. Support from SC Smith. Can they get it back? Yes, to Ferreira quickly. Bali Swart. Sherrill, the long one to Kobusberger. Doubling around was Van der Merwe. Again, Kobusberger wrong foot in the Free State defence. Rotenbach, who got it back there to Van Sale. Martins under a lot of pressure. Great tackle by FC Smith. Can they get the ball back? And Province have us put in at the scrum. Great attacking position.
And FC Smith emerging as one of the finds of the season, really playing very good rugby. He's improved his line-out play, and his work has always been very good in the tight loose. Made a great tackle there.
Even in the scrums, there's a chance for Aitken. He's good on the charge. Good tackle by Martins and Rotenbach. Ferreira again, this time it's Charlie Crinier. Can Free State put up with this sort of pressure for much longer? Andrews on the charge. He's scragged by Puta Himan. Feedback by FC Smith. This time it's Bali Swart. Ferreira against Sherrill. Now they've got a chance to run the long ball from Kobusberger. Does well to get it back to Neil Berger. He's a difficult man to stop in this situation. Can Western Province win the ball again? No, Free State get it back. Martins was trying to get his pass in, and a Western Province
on the ground, playing the man.
Just interfering with Martins clearing that ball.
There's absolutely no reason for Sherrill to give the long pass there. He missed out Kelderblom with an overlap looming. And put the backs under pressure where I think an overlap was coming up.
Well, Andre Yabert is able to bring relief for Free State, and I can assure you that that was welcome relief too, with the pressure that Western Province were putting on the charge from their forwards. But full marks to Free State, their defence held up. Nice to see Andrew Patterson back from injury. Short line out. Hugo with a feed down, but there was interference. And now what will they do with just 10 seconds on our stopwatch to go in this half? I'm sure that Lance Sherrill may well attempt a shot at goal. Little or no wind to speak of. And that, I assure you, is not an easy kick with this muddy ball and field.
As we noticed in the early game, the kickers finding it very difficult. In fact, slipping several times. Well, you saw Andre Yabert earlier on slipping as he took a kick at goal.
halfway line just behind him. He seems to have found a reasonably firm piece of ground. A great deal depends on what happens to his right foot here, as he has to put more pressure onto his right foot to be able to get the oomph into the kick. He struck it well enough. Has it got the legs? Great kick. His whistle has gone for half-time. That is where you can see the joy of Mike Bailey. Little tap of congratulations for him. That certainly will have given Western Province the advantage and enable them to relax a little bit, gain 6 points into the lead, and we will be back with Chris Moller and Tiny Neethling in a few minutes.
And we'll be right back with the second half.
Sometime or other, you or one of your family might have to be hospitalized. You may well recover perfectly. But what about your finances? And the expenses that medical aid doesn't cover? That's why Sanlam has introduced the hospital policy that shelters you against hospital costs at an affordable premium, giving you a cash injection when you need it most. The hospital policy from Sanlam, assuring your tomorrow for sure.
British royalty inspired it centuries ago, bestowing a noble sport with the world-famous traditions of Royal Ascot and the Derby. Here, each year during the first week of July, this proud heritage lives on with the most prestigious event of the racing calendar. In fine tribute to the sport of kings, the country's leading thoroughbreds present a unique spectacle of grandeur and excitement. The Rothmans July, the greatest racing event of the year.
CNA, TDK and TV1 Top Sport give you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a trip to Wimbledon 1992 and to win other fabulous prizes from CNA and TDK, including 5 JVC palm-sized video recorders worth R5,000 each, plus 125 TDK videotape and watch sets. Catch the Wimbledon competition on 1 from July the 1st to the 7th, and make sure you get it down for good.
The Currie Cup is one of South Africa's most prestigious trophies. It's at Kings Park now, but for the past 10 years it's been displayed either at Loftus Versfeld or at Newlands. Now TopSport brings you a decade of Currie Cup rugby finals. Finals dominated until this year's big match by those two great rivals from North and South, Northern Transvaal and Western Province. Currie Cup Finals contains highlights from all 11 matches. It's available from selected supermarkets, hyperstores, newsagents, or from TopSport Marketing, Johannesburg 714-8080.
And a half-time score at Bood Erasmus, EP 13, Natal 10. So difficult conditions there, also keeping the scores rather low. It's Western Province 9 and Free State 3. Let's go back to David van der Sant.
Welkom terug weer hier op Nieuweland. By my Gerrie Sonnek is afrigter van die Vrystaatspan. Gerrie, ek dink daardie 2 strafdoele wat julle hier kort voor die eerste helfte, einde van die eerste helfte afgestaan het, kan miskien uiteindelik deurslaggewend wees.
Ja, laas jaar ons skopvoet is baie akkuraat en ons sal moet kyk, Vrystaat moenie foute maak in binne trefafstand nie. Hy sit hulle in hierdie moeilike toestande selfs van die middellyn af wat wys hy's baie gevaarlik.
Dit lyk my die taktiek gaan hier wees om die bal maar by die voorspelers te hou, nie te probeer om die bal veel toe te gee nie en so min as moontlik hanteerfoute te maak.
Ja, op die stadium doen WP dit baie effektief. Hulle gebruik hulle groot flanke baie goed en hulle kry die voordeellyn oorgesteek. Dit is net 'n kwessie van die span wat gaan hou en onder druk.
Die besering van Janie de Beer, is dit 'n groot ontwrigting?
Ja, nog voor hom het Pieter Miller ook 'n duispier getrek wat ons maar op die veld hou. Ons hoop maar hy vererger nie, maar hy ondervind heelwat las van die pyn. Hy bly op die veld en ons sal kyk of ons die dinge kan vasvat daar.
Gerrie, baie dankie. Kom ons kyk hoe verloop die tweede helfte. Die telling 9-3 in die guns van die Weselike Provinsie.
Ja, intussen is dit Neil Burger van die WP wat ook die veld verlaat het en Stef Nel is nou op vleuel. Kobus Burger speel nou regtervleuel en Stef Nel speel nou linker. Kobus van der Merwe nie, Kobus Burger nie, Kobus van der Merwe wat nou regtervleuel speel, Stef Nel speel linkervleuel, Henty Martins. Hy staat front Haardag en 'n strafskop kom as die WP manne onkant is daar. Probeer terugkrap van die ander. Andre iemand wat gestraf is as hy die bal probeer terugkrap het. Vrystaat as 'n bietjie stadig om by die lyn staan te kom.
Op die lyn staan nou net nie so. Hy kry op plekke. Dis te veel staan vir voor in die lyn staan. Ek vra nou vir die vlagmanne of hulle te help as hierdie standbreek uitgesorteer word in die lyn staan. Jy hou jou vlag uit as daar probleme is.
Stef Nel, eintlik 'n skramskakel. So baie spaar van die veld gekom. Freddy Ferreira kry vir hom. En pas Rademeier, Andre Joubert. Op binnekant sy kwartgebied. Maar WP het sy 13-14 meter veld gewen.
Dit is die een aspek van deze provincie se tweede fase. Dit is eintlik 'n eerste fase bal waar die agterspelers nog altyd 17-7 is. En alhoewel hulle heelwat van hierdie balle wen, kan die agterspelers nie werklik 'n platform kry om die doellyn aan te val nie. En met 40 minute wat verby is, het ek nog nie behalwe
die lyn staan oop weg van nou.
Die doellyn werklik aangeval het. Het dit nog nie gelyk asof deze provincie uitgebroke spel uit 'n 3 gaan kry.
Andre Joubert van hierdie strafskop van die Vrystaat weer binne trefafstand plaas so 10 meter by die kwartgebied van die WP voor die spoorweg paviljoen.
14, 26, 11.
Cancel 14, 9, 3. Okay. 14, 22, 11.
Freddy Ferreira kry vir hom Lance Cheryl, hy's binnekant sy kwartgebied met die linkervoet. Skopstryd hierdie eerste paar minute van die tweede helfte.
Cheryl wat ontwikkel in 'n baie goeie skoppende loskakel. Ek dink hier in die Wes-provinsie sal heelwat van die ondersteuners hom graag ook wil sien in 'n aanvallende as 'n aanvallende loskakel.
Charlie coming front. Watching Charlie.
Dennis van Silverberg. Maar hy gaan gestraf word. Hy het deur die lyn staan gegaan.
Chris, ek dink jy was nou 'n rukkie weg, maar vandat jy teruggekom het, lyk my die reëls in die lynstaande ook weer verander. Blykbaar word die ondersteuning van die slotte nou weer toegelaat. Ek het in die wedstryd tussen Noord-Transvaal ook hier dieselfde ding gesit. Ek kyk, ek weet nie, miskien weet jy meer of dit weer terug is.
Dit was net vir my interessant in 'n wedstryd tussen Beglèche en Toulouse in Frankryk. Hulle finale van die beker. Is daar geweldig baie ondersteuning in die lyn staan. Kom ons kyk net hierdie beweging. Kobus van der Merwe wil vry, maar Kobus Burger is eerste daar. En byna 'n misverstand vir die WP wat uitgebuit is deur die Vrystaat. Maar baie beslis, daar is meer ondersteuning in die lyn staan en miskien is dit die tendens ook vir die oorsese spanne, want daar was bitter min oortredings in die spesifieke wedstryd in Frankryk waar daar strafskoppe te geken is na lynstaande.
Terminie ons gooi die bal as die man op die grond is, nie hoor. Kom man, kom, ek hulle lekker skram weg.
Elgaard Muller, is bedoel vir Pieter Muller en ook vir pas Rademeier, maar die verdediging van die WP wat hou. WP het steeds besit daar van Pierre Rautenbach se verdediging is daar. Dink Raoul de Villiers se hart in Bloemfontein klop seker warm as die Vrystaat so op die aanval doen.
Hy het die gewoonte om my normaalweg op 'n maandag te bel na die WP Vrystaat wedstryd. Geweldig baie strafskop in die laaste klompie wedstryde wat ek dopgehou het. Veral wanneer die bal grond toe gaan waar spelers geneig is om oor die bal te val.
Dennis van Sailenti Martens, Elgard Miller, Pote Iman. Is op die middellyn. Weer beskikbaar, Cheese van Tonner, die manne is daar. Maar WP kry vir hom, Lance Sherrill. En Pote Iman byna onderskep hy vir hom. Spesregterbak vir voordeel. Dit gevaarlik as Stef Nel begin hardklip en die bal en hy gaan ver veldlyn vir die WP. En die mens wil vra, hoe kan die WP die manne die span uitlaat?
Chris, weer eens hier aan die buitekant van Stef Nel was daar 2-3 WP spelers wat met die bal kon gehardloop het. Ek dink Wes-Provinsie is so ingestel om die bal te skop om die Vrystaat op verdediging te hou, dat hulle vergeet daar is geleenthede om ook die doellyn aan te val.
Ricky Ferreira, Nili gooi die bal. Maar Vrystaat neem hom eenvoudig af. Cheese van Tonner. Andre Joubert, Elgard Miller. Dis Brendan Venter, Pieter Miller. Dis Hempas Rademeier. Dis die ondersteuning daar vir die Vrystaat. Hulle wil vir hom terug. Hulle het steeds beheer daarvan. Hy is nog nie uit nie. Andre Joubert wat 'n voetbal by kry.
En Chris, dit is wat die rugbymanne spoed deur die hande noem. Die bal het eenvoudig net die werk gedoen en toe die bal aan die buitekant uitkom, kon Joubert met daardie bal hardloop.
Ja, hulle het 15 na 20 meter te gewen daarmee.
Hulle maak toe voordat die man in die bal vat.
Jy weet, Chris, dit is wat ek net van gepraat het. Die manne blaas nie vir my konsekwent wat die lyn staan reëls betref nie. Een oomblik maak die manne vroeg toe, dan word hulle nie gestraf nie. Volgende oomblik, dan is dit strafskop.
Ja, dit is nie bevorderlik vir ons rugby nie. Lynstane is 'n fundament, 'n goeie platform vir aanvallende rugby. En na hoeveel lynstane kan die spel ordentlik aan die gang kom. Die slag wel, Charlie Cronje. Kwartlyn van die WP, Freddy Ferreira. Patterson met hom wegbars.
Die beweging van Wes-Provinsie, as hulle net miskien 'n bietjie hier na die 15 meter merk, hier na die binneveld gekom het, om so die steelkant meer oop te maak, dan is dit baie meer gevaarlik as jy daardie tweede fase wen om dan steelkant om te speel.
Brendan Venter terug na Elgard Miller. Verdediging van die WP wat daar is. Die WP wil ook vir hom uithaal, maar Vrystaat wag vir hom. Vrystaat kan onkant wees, want dit is 'n strafskop aan die WP. Op die grond gespeel.
Die bal op die grond gespeel.
Niligo wat weer vandag sy hart uitspeel, hy is heel wat kere wat ek hom baie keer gouer by die losbal gesien het as van die losvoorspelers.
Ja, Niligo veteraan wat wedstryde aan betref vir die WP. Speel hierdie man ooit 'n swak wedstryd. Een van die staatmakers in die streepkry. Twee spelers vir die WP in die lyn staan. Daar was 3 van die Vrystaat.
Ons het sopas in daardie ingooi van Wes-Provinsie gesien dat die Vrystaat se agterspelers gouer na die bal toe speel as hy lospad as wat die Wes-Provinsie se manne. Dit wil vir my voorkom as die Wes-Provinsie manne wag dat hulle voorspelers daardie losbal moet optel.
Die Martens staties is hierdie skrum. Nou Gart Miller met die regtervoet. Goed genoeg. Van binnekant sy kwartgebied. Daar is die spel terug tot binne die halfgebied van die WP. Kan baie gevaarlik word. Hy het baie spoed. Cheese van Tonner, kom ons van der Merwe gaan hom nie keer nie. Mike Bailey ook teen is die eerste 3 van die wedstryd. Wel, dit het so maklik gelyk.
Ja, dit was eintlik 'n baie swak klapbal hier in die lyn staan. Dat vir Cheese van Tonner daar die 3 gegee het. Maar toe hy die bal ontvang het, was daar die 3 nog nie aan nie. Dit is eintlik 'n klapbal hier deur Wes-Provinsie se Charlie Cronje. Van Tonner wat eenvoudig die bal optel. En hier is die 3 nog nie aan nie. Daar klop hy vir Sherrill en dan moet 22 meter oor is hy net eenvoudig te veel spoed vir Van der Merwe en ook vir Bailey.
Hy kry die applaus. Dis die eerste 3 van die wedstryd. Daar het dit begin. Klapbal deur die WP. Cheese van Tonner. Skitterend wat hy optel. Cheryl kan nie vir hom keer nie. Bali Swart kan nie vir hom keer nie. 22 meter oor doellyn toe. Ag, die 100 sou hy afgelê in 10-5. Andre Joubert. Met die linkervoet as hy weer gly en is gelyk op 9.1. Hulle is stil.
Maar Chris, hier het ons pas gesien, jy weet, die oomblik waar jy 3 aanteken het jy 6 punte. Of die moontlikheid van 6 punte is daar. Wes-Provinsie het met 3 skoppe 9 punte gekry en met 1-3 en Vrystaat is weer terug in die wedstryd.
Skielik is of daar lewe is in die Vrystaatspan. Pierre Rautenbach het hom wegbars. Dennis van Sail het opgetel. Henty Martens wag vir hom. Kry vir Pote Iman. Wil vir hom daar op pad op veg. Kry dit nie heeltemal reg nie. Henty Martens is weer daar. Dis Brendan Venter. En pas Rademeier. Hy gaan vir hom vorentoe skop. Mike Bailey sal moet vir hom inwag. Hy is binnekant sy kwartgebied as die bal spring. Vrystaat is baie gevaarlik, want hem pas Rademeier het goed opgevolg. En kyk daar is Vrystaat, binnekant kwartgebied van die WP. En pas Rademeier daar die skopie self opgevolg. En het wys net weer, waarom moet jy opvolg as jy skop? En nie lief goed.
Nummer 4, hier gekom. Kerekant.
Verligting sal nou gebring moet word deur Lance Cheryl vir die WP. Van sy kwartlyn af. Lance moet jy benut, jy moes uitskop. Andre Joubert binnekant sy kwartgebied. Maar WP in die proses wen hulle daarom veld.
En Chris, hulle het ook die ingooi in die lyn staan wat ook daarom 'n voordeel is.
Steady ball! Steady ice, Dr. Focus!
Ball, steady ice!
Maandag sal wasdag 'n moeilike dag wees in die WP en die Vrystaat. Elgard Muller. Mike Bailey. Was het aanslaan? Ja, sê meneer Fransie Muller. Goeie opmerking van ons regisseur Org Potgieter vir die kyker wat swart en wit stelle het. Spelers met die bruin truie is die Vrystaat. Baie nat. Ek dink dit moet baie koud wees. Kan weer groot aanval ver kom vir die Vrystaat as hulle boer op die aanval. Danksy Elgard Muller wat om ontpop en 'n waardevolle losskakel vandag vir die Vrystaat.
En met daardie 3 wat van Toller aangeteken het, 'n nuwe 4 hier onder die die Vrystaatse pak voorspelers en hulle agterspelers wat nou goeie balle druk op Wes-Provinsie toepas.
Freddy Ferreira. Hy gaan nie uitskop nie, Andre Joubert. Hier gaan 'n skepskop poging kom van hom aan die linkervoet. Dis moeilike omstandighede as hy gly. Bailey kan dit geraak aan daardie bal. Stef Nel.
Chris, ek dink daardie Bailey moes aan daardie bal geraak het voordat hy oor die doellyn is, anders sou hy definitief doodgedruk het, maar hy het geen opsie eintlik gehad as om te probeer speel en vir Stef Nel probeer wegkry nie, anders was dit 'n 5 meter straf.
Henty Martens skryf hy Elgard Muller. Nou, Cheryl wat vinnig aangekom het, maar Cheese van Tonner is daar. Hier gaan 'n tweede vaste bal uitkom, Henty Martens. Skryf Andre Joubert. Skopie wat nie heeltemal gaan waar hy hom wil hê nie, maar Vrystaat wil besit hê, daar gaan geskrum word. Vir die hanteerfout. En dis Vrystaat se ingooi, dis die doellyn van die WP links op die skerm.
Chris, en van die Wes-Provinsie se vaste manne en losmanne begin nou los staan en gee eintlik vir Vrystaat daardie geleentheid om goeie tweede fase te wen en meer manne van Vrystaat nou by die breekpunt as Wes-Provinsie.
Goed, iemand die misverstand tussen hom en sy spanmaats. Goeie verdediging deur die WP. Cheese van Tonner is daar. Brendan Venter al uit. Andre Joubert. Elgard Muller. Elgard Muller nog steeds uit vir Eben Schippers. Eben Schippers wat vir hom wil hê, dit was aanslaan, hulle sal moet kom skrom.
Chris, na die beweging het ons gesien dat Martens eintlik so 5-6 meter van die vaste spel af staan en manne soek om die bal voor te gee. Ek dink Wes-Provinsie moet baie vinniger speel na die breekpunte toe.
Elgard Muller, dis Brendan Venter. Die sal wat sake moeilik maak en dis Martens. Mike Bailey het probleme. Vrystaat se verdedigers is daar, maar uitstekende werk deur Mike Bailey. Soos jy sou sê, hy nie die rots van Gibraltar. Wordt iemand van binnenkant sy eie halfgebied. Andre Joubert, ek dink hy het geweet daar die bal gaan om te kom, nou nie. Hier sal moet gekeer word deur Andrew Aitken, maar die Vrystaat is binne trefafstand. Baie na die doellyn van die WP.
Ek hou van die manier wat die man het nie probeer om die Wes-Provinsie speler te klop. Hy het hom eenvoudig net uit die spel uitgeneem en toe die bal vir die man gegee wat in 'n beter posisie was om die skop uit te voer of die beweging verder te voer. Dink dit is 'n les wat rugby vir al die chokkertjies kan leer. Skakel die man van binnekant af uit en dan kan jy beter aanvalle doen na die buitekant toe.
Hier is strafskop in Dennis van Zyl. Nou, Vrystaat kon nog nooit in hulle geskiedenis 2 jaar na mekaar hier wen op Nieuweland. Hulle het dit verlede jaar gedoen, dis 9-11 met 23 minute speeltyd oor. Kan dit vandag 'n geskiedenisdag wees vir hulle?
Maar het nie reguit ingekom nie.
Chris, hier in die laaste 10 minute is Wes-Provinsie eintlik maar net toeskouers. Die Vrystaat is die manne wat op die oomblik die spel lewer en Wes-Provinsie hier onder druk hou. Hulle sal moet 'n plan maak om vir al die voorspelers van die Vrystaat in te trek en nie net met skoppe die wil drie kry.
Dis dan die voordeel is vir die WP en die WP wil vir hom uithaal. Vrystaat kry vir hom, maar hulle moet skrum. Kan nie vir Piet Bester kwalijk neem en daar die bal het so vinnig uitgeskiet daar. Andre Joubert pragtig onder daar die ballen. Kry vir Eben Schippers.
Dit is die indruk wat ek van die Wes-Provinsie kry is dat hulle met hoë skoppe hoop dat die opponente maak 'n fout en sodat hulle dan 'n 3 kan kry. En met 'n heel agter soos Andre Joubert en Vrystaat wat meteen aanvalle kom uit skoppe het, is dit nie die taktiek om toe te pas nie.
Skitterende werk deur Henty Martens as hy raak gevat het Pieter Muller. Bailey het teruggeval, binnekant sy kwartgebied. En met Tempas Rademeier by hom gaan hy seker maak dat hy hierdie skop van hom uitkry, so 5 tree binnekant die halfgebied van die WP. Hier pote iemand. Slag WP wat vir hom afneem. Andre iemand waar hy aankom, Freddy Ferreira kry vir Charlie Cronje. Daar de werker hierdie Charlie Cronje.
Maar weer eens was het Charlie wat omtrent op sy eie daar was en dink die ondersteuning van die Wes-Provinsie se voorspelers die oomblik wat hulle wegspeel is nie so goed soos die Vrystaat se nie. Die Vrystaat het meer manne by die breekpunt en sodoende kry hulle beter tweede fase daar.
Andre Joubert en Tempas Rademeier wat in mekaar vashardloop en Stef Nel wat op die bal gaan val en hy trek hom.
Ja, dit is typies Wes-Provinsie. Ek dink meeste van hulle 3 verjaar het basies gekom as gevolg van foute van die opponente en Stef Nel natuurlik die man wat daai tipe van fout baie goed uithaal. Freddy Ferreira wat wag vir die bal, dan die hoë skop en doppel hier vir nommer 15 Joubert en dan die vleuel hier aan die regterkant. Hulle hardloop die mekaar vas. Die bal spat weg. Stef Nel is by goed opgevolg daar en Die plaasvervanger Vernielberge druk dan sy 3.
Hy het 2-3 gedruk wat hy onderskep het teen Natal vroeër vanjaar hier op Nieuweland. Nou druk hy die WP se eerste 3, maar 3 wat gedruk word na 'n fout van Natal of liewer van die Vrystaat. So dit vroeër gesê, WP wat nie werklik van 'n 3 maak nie. Maar is 4 punte werd, is 13-9 voor as Lance Sherrill hierdie bal stel baie na aan die kantlyn. Aan die oorkant, 6 meter. Net buite kan die kwartgebied van die Vrystaat. As 'n nutcall daar waar hy staan met die linkervoet gaan hy skop Lance Sherrill. Hy tref hom goed. Hy tref hom baie goed. Niks fout met sy skopskoenie. Van Lance Sherrill in die WP wat voorloop 15 punte teenoor 9, 'n 3 elke, 3 vir die WP deur Stef Nel en 'n 3 vir Vrystaat deur Cheese van Tonner. En vir die laaste 19 minute wat Hugh Bladen en Dave Stewart.
Thank you, Chris and Tiny. Well, a little bit against the run of play, that try coming for Western Province, but Stef Nel onto it very quickly. You bear with the restart. Sherrill. Rotenbach. How can he do something with this ball? Get it, loosen it up for Free State. Province defence is good. They're still trying to just tap it back. I must say both sides have stood up well in the scrums, considering the mud underfoot. Rademacher, Nell is up to him, good tackle by Steffi. Human cleaning up for Free State. Lance Sherrill very nearly got a boot to it. Martins, now Western Province on the charge. Neil Hugo getting it back. Stef Nell again with Jabir getting back for it. Feeds it into Helfat Miller. He's under a lot of pressure. Freddy Ferreira up there. Oh, that was better play. Pressure play by Western Province. Helfat Miller is saying, come on guys, you can't give me ball like that. And certainly a different picture in the crowd to when we saw after Cheese van Tonder's try.
As so often happens, Free State have been doing all the playing. Just one little error there and they've given away a try, and Free State and West Province got their tails up now.
And just a stray boot coming through. It was Andre Bester who was on the charge for Free State, gaining him about 10 metres. His throwing into Klute has been good today. Martins, Muller. And that was a good clearance by Helfat Muller. He was under quite a lot of pressure and taking play to about 5 metres inside the Free State half.
26! 9! 6! 26! 9!
Grenier who got the tap back, the tackle by Rotenbach. Ferreira. Rademacher waits, Sherrill is up there very quickly. Can't bring him to ground, but eventually the heavy men come and do that. Peter Muller trying to get it back. This is Ferreira. Grenier on the charge. Now Province will want to loosen this up. The Free State backline is realigned well.
So vital for Western Province to loosen that one up. And this has been a failing in their game this year, and this is why they're not scoring tries. Tiny was saying just now the loose fours don't get there quick enough. That was a ball they should have won.
Well, Andrew Patterson, who's been on the injury list, had a game for the Western Province B side last week up at Loftus Versfeld. Interested spectators. Western Province ball. Good scrummage by Free State. Again putting pressure, but Western Province coming back at them as Aitken holds the ball in the scrum. Now they're getting the drive going. Clear from Mr. Muller.
Right into your own people. Going into it. That's a penalty.
Could have been a penalty to Free State, that, if he didn't like it. Again, Muller will get this ball with a lot of pressure from Butiban Ferreira. Comes out slowly from Martins. Muller doing well. Another man with history, will say, has 2 test caps to his name, but both as a replacement. Replacing Nas Buerta on this very ground against the International 15 in 1989.
16, 24, 19!
Nobody can mistake the voice of Butiban Ferreira. Well cleaned up there by Bali Swart, but an awkward ball to Glenn Gelderblom. Doing well to stay on his feet. He's tackled eventually by David Tron, Ferreira, Cronier. Western Province perhaps just overdoing this. Cheese van Tonder is having an absolute stormer today. Cleaning up for Free State. Can they move this ball? Fenta, Skippers. Andre Hubert on the charge. The ball stayed in field. Bailey is across there. He misses it. And eventually Skippers just showing his a bit of disgust in the fact that he had slipped and couldn't retrieve that ball.
There's a lot of skill among that loose forward trio, the Free State. Porter Himan and Cheese van Tonder particularly. Robbing Western Province of a lot of ball.
Good tap back by Pansel, nicely cleared up by Martins. Fenta, now it's Peter Muller. Tempus Radimer just running into the player by mistake there. Western Province defence, back for his Bailey. Another good catch by him. Mike Bailey's certainly been given a run around this afternoon, but his hands have been great.
Yes, it seems, Hugh, that Free State are prepared to play. They're staying on their feet well. They're backing one another up well. They're not looking for any pace until there's someone that really can run. Whereas Province aren't really looking prepared as if they want to move the ball around the field.
That was lovely work by Cronier at the line out. Himan getting it to Fantonda. Rotenbach was up there in support. Well picked up by Himan for Western Province. Fed back by FC Smith. Sherrill. And it looks like Cheese Fantonda is down. He went charging through with a man who, although he spent a few minutes in the cooler, has really been playing his heart out and rewarded with a very good try. He's really one of the key players in the Western Province side at the moment, and they won't want to lose Fantonda. And the replacement there just getting ready. It will be Andre Fenter, it is, the tech player. Here we see Cheese Fantonda on the charge as he goes past Steffi Nell. Well tackled by Charlie Cronier. You see on the right-hand side of the screen, Pierre Rotenbach was up in support, but Cheese was unable to loosen the ball up. And now a little bit of a misunderstanding at the moment. What has happened? Where is Cheese Fantonda? We can't see him at the moment. This is Pierre Rotenbach coming off. I'm not quite sure why he came off, but the replacement is on. And Pierre Rotenbach came on. Cheese Fantonda is still on the field. And the Free State, in fact, calling Pierre Rotenbach off the field. In there goes the replacement for Free State Fenter, but it's a high hoist by Western Province. Martin's under a lot of pressure. Good play by Ferreira. Patterson taking it on. Now Province will want to get this back. Bali Swart, Cronier charging over the advantage line again. Ferreira keeping it very tight up Province. Rademacher. Well, a good enough clearance for Hempus Rademacher there. He was right up against the touchline and just making sure of his kick. 10 minutes to go, vital game, remembering that last year Free State in fact beat Western Province both home and away. 21-16 it was here and 31-19 at the Free State Stadium.
quite apparent that the Western Province side have decided not to take on the Free State backline and to keep playing down the blind side with Freddie Ferreira popping little kicks over and Charlie Currie popping back in.
Muller, good cover by Aitken. Couldn't get it away to Steph Nellis. Muller gets the boot in again. This is Andre Yabert. This is going to be a straight race. I think he's got the pace to make it. Bailey's trying to close in on him, stopping him from going under the poles. Andre Yabert. Clever play by Helfart Muller there as he saw a little bit of space. And then Andre Yabert, who's no slouch when it comes to sprinting, making all the running.
There it is. Out to Helfart Muller, prepared to chip positively, little chip ahead. And Andrew Aitken misreading that little change of direction with Cobus van der Merwe. The Free State boot getting to the ball. And Andre Jabeur away. Really no one. Bailey way out of position. Cobus van der Merwe, you will remember, was cutting across. Bailey's arrived. And Andre Jabeur, great try. Probably well deserved. Although it's come from the own half of the field, they've been prepared to try all the time. As I was just saying just now, the Western Province backline not prepared to take on this Free State backline.
Well, there's only 8 minutes left in the game, so this conversion absolutely vital for Free State. And he's hooked it rather badly. So just 2 points the difference. 8 minutes left.
Helfart Muller with a little chip with his left foot again. He's Aitken fielding well, and yet misreading Cobus van der Merwe running across him.
A happy bounce there for Andre Yabeur. It's quite interesting. You see, Brendan Fenter doesn't give up the chase. He's right up there in support. Now Yabeur's getting a lot of instruction from him as to where to put that ball. Back with reality as Muller finds his touch. About 7 meters inside the Free State half.
Probably quite good thinking by Brendan Fenter there too. He was looking for the inside pass because he could have scored under the poles, of course.
See Free State winning a good percentage of their own ball. That time it was Neil Dufo going high. Clear indication from the referee that they were barging into the Western Province players, Free State. And so a chance for Longshore. 11 points today to add to the 61 he's already scored in Currie Cup rugby this season. Well, Mr. Jan Pickard, president of the Western Province Rugby Union, shin in hand. He kicked magnificently at Loftus Versfeld last week and only missing his first penalty, and then stuck over 7 and only missing the 1 today. Perfect view. And Western Province now 5 points in the lead.
Well, in these conditions, that is an absolutely marvellous kick. He's kicked 2 great kicks over Longshore. Both of them from about 50 metres out if you take the angle.
Well, that means he's kicked 5 out of 6 today, and in fact I see that he missed with he missed with his first penalty, so he's kicked in fact 7 and 6, 13. He's missed 2 out of 14 kicks. FC Smith in trouble. Peter Muller went across and got the hack ahead. Referee blamed for the first offence. FC Smith, he was at Van Riebeek High School here in Cape Town. In fact, I have a nephew who's at Van Riebeek High.
Did well to read the Free State move there. Free State kicking off the wrong way. He'd picked it up.
Muller to his brother. Nicely out to Evan Skeepers. He couldn't get it out to Yabeur. This is Thomas Brendan Fenter. Muller. And And this will be an important role. Andrew Aitken back very quickly for Western Province. You see how difficult it is. All when he loses control of it. Not too used to playing in these conditions is Andrew Aitken. And Free State has scored. It is Helfart Muller, I think, who got in. Keith Bester is absolutely delighted with him. He gets a hug from his brother. Mistake there by Western Province, and Helfart Muller just seizing onto it immediately.
Helfart Muller now with his probing kick. Just kicks it downfield, looking for touch, really. Aitken's the only one that manages to get back there, and he was a little unlucky because it looked as if it was going to go over the goal line for a while. But yeah, picks it up, controls it for a while, and while he's trying to beat this man, he loses the ball. There's Andre Kluter picking it up, and Helfart Muller, the man that made the kick, picking up the try.
Well, it just goes to show how vital Lance Sherrill's former penalty was. This is about Commander Yabare. And the crowd will tell you that it's most. Just 1 point in it. I must say that Free State, having scored the 3 tries to 1, I just get the feeling, Dave, that Western Province are overdoing this effort to go over the advantage line all the time.
I don't quite understand what it means when they tell me that a fly-off has got to try and take his side to the advantage line. It's almost an impossibility. Free State coming out of their own 22 again, very positively, but making the mistake.
Without the ball.
Well tackled without the ball there by Western Province. Clear from Mr. Francie Muller, but it's nice to see Helfart Muller so nearly got his pass away. Yabare. And this one hasn't found touch, Van der Merwe. He's got Bailey on his inside. Van der Merwe just hacking and forward, finding a little bit of ground there, about 15 metres for Province. Free State calling the short line out again. Theron, Van Sale, Bester and Crenier. Crenier gets the tap. Cheese Van Tonde, who really would be my forward of the game, if not the player of the game.
Yes, he's done yeoman work. He's done a lot of work today, Cheese Van Tonde, and he got that great try.
Bedford done very well, coming on the chase very quickly as Brendan Fenter. Andrew Aitken holds on well. Western Province forwards doing well to move that ruck forward and so getting the put in. Good cover defence from their captain. Ferreira, Sherrill. Ball back, and I must say once again that the front rankers have done very well to stay on their feet. Ferreira, this time using the kick ahead himself. This is Yabare. Will he keep it alive? Just 1 minute to go. Jurgen Skip is a difficult customer to pull down. Puerto Himan, well tackled by FC Smith. Stather gets it back. In fact, it is Free State trying to clear up again. Fontonda is in there, so is FC Smith. Martins, the chase coming from Jurgen Skip as again Andrew Aitken across with it. And there wasn't much else he could do.
He covers an enormous amount of ground, Andrew Aitken. He did well there. A little unlucky today with those 2 little handling errors.
Well, I was just saying to Tiny and Dave Stewart earlier on that I'm sure when Andrew Aitken came down to Cape Town, he didn't expect to end up as the captain of Western Province.
Another game where Province haven't scored tries. They've been outscored 3-1 again today.
And the referee's final whistle has gone. We thought that that might have been for a penalty, but Mr. Francie Muller had blown him up exactly on the 40 minutes. And despite the conditions which you can see underfoot, I think a reasonable game of rugby. Western Province preferring to keep it very tight, using their forwards, using Charlie Crenier to a large extent, charging off the base of the rucks and mauls from a little pass from Ferreira. I think really Free State a little unlucky to lose this game. They were playing very...
Not a good kick, but a bit of a misunderstanding between Rademacher and Andre Jabare. One of the few mistakes Andre Jabare made. You pick Cheese van Tonda as the forward. I'd pick Andre Jabir as the back today. But such a willingness in the Free State side to run, and we see so little of it down in Cape Town here. Province have just lost their way for a while. They'll come back, but they need a lot more adventure in their side.
Well, there you can see the possession. Free State having 56% of the possession. They were, in fact, in the second half, despite or apart from a little period in play when Western Province came into the Free State half, Free State really having the better of the territorial advantage in that half. Eventually